Welcome to the lecture on problem solving on break-even analysis and economic order quantity. In this lecture, we will solve the problem based on break-even analysis, what we have studied in our earlier lecture, and also on economic order quantity. Let us first discuss the problem on break-even analysis. The problem is like this: the fixed cost of production of an item is rupees 1 lakh and the variable cost per unit is given as rupees 75. The income generated by selling each unit of the item is expected to be rupees 100. So, you have fixed cost, you have the variable cost per unit as well as the selling cost. What is the break even quantity of units produced and sold? So, we have to find the break even quantity at which there is no profit, no loss, the quantity which is produced and sold. Also, we have to show graphically the cost incurred versus the units produced, and further the cost and income per unit against output. So, let us solve this question. The given quantities are fixed cost as rupees 1 lakh, the variable cost per unit, that is V, is given as rupees 75. The income generated by selling each unit, that is selling cost, that is given as rupees 100. So, we have to find the break even quantity. Now, the break even quantity, we know that break even point we find it by F upon S minus V. So, what we see is F is 1 lakh upon S minus V, that is 100 minus 75. So, it will be 4000 units. So, when we produce 4000 units and sell it, we are at the break even point, means there is no profit, no loss. Let us see by in the tabular form how can we see that. So, let us see here the quantity produced and sold. You have total cost. Total cost is nothing but F plus V into N, if N is the quantity, based on that you will have income. Income will be nothing but selling price per unit multiplied by number of units sold, and then we have the column for profit or loss, that will be income minus total cost. So, if we start from 2000 units, F plus Vn, so F is 1 lakh plus 2000 into variable cost 75. So, 1 lakh plus 1 lakh 50,000, it will be 2 lakh 50,000. Then income will be S multiplied by N. So, 2000 multiplied by 100, that will be 2 lakh. So, you will have profit or loss, income minus total cost, that is coming as minus of 50,000. So, this is basically a loss. If we take it to 3000, the total cost will be F plus V into N, 1 lakh plus 75 into 3000. So, it will be 3 lakh 25,000. The income will be S into N, 100 multiplied by 3000, that is 3 lakh. So, it will be again negative of 25,000. So, there is loss of 25,000. If we go to 4,000, total cost will be F plus Vn, 1 lakh plus 75 multiplied by 4,000. So, 1 lakh plus 3 lakh, that is 4 lakhs. The income is S into N, S is 100 and N is 4,000, that is 4 lakh. What we see is income is equal to total cost. So, you have 0 profit or 0 loss. So, if we can say this is no profit, no loss. So, further if you go to 5,000, for 5,000 total cost will be 1000 plus 1 lakh plus 5,000 multiplied by 75. So, it is 475 000 4 lakh 75,000. The income will be 5,000 multiplied by 100, it is 5 lakh. So, now the difference of 5 lakh and 475,000, it will be coming as 25,000. So, it is now profit. Further, if you go to 6,000, we expect that once we move from here onwards, our profit will go on increasing, just like see for example for 6,000, 1 lakh plus 6,000 multiplied by 75, it will be 5 lakh 50,000 and income is 6 lakhs. So, profit is 50,000. So, till we go to the operational capacity, we are going to get the profit based on this data, and what we see is you are justifying yourself by reaching to this value of 0 profit 0 loss for the quantity of 4,000 which is produced and sold, and that is why it is known as break even quantity. Now, we have to find the costs and we have to find the graph of this cost against the units produced. So, in the graph you will have the fixed cost, you will have the variable cost or total and total cost, and also the income. Now, let us see, we have these data, we can have the variable cost based on the value per unit multiplied by the number of units produced. So, if we try to plot this is cost or income in rupees, in lakhs of rupees. So, and then on this side we have units produced. Now, in this case, if we take the units, suppose we start from 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000 and 6000. So, for 1000 units, now let us see if we have to see the fixed cost line, what we see is, so let us draw here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, this is in terms of lakhs of rupees. Now, the fixed cost is 1 lakh. So, the fixed cost line will move like this. This is the fixed cost. Now, let us see total cost for 1000 units. Total cost will be fixed cost plus 1000 times 75,000. So, it will be 175,000. So, it will be here. Then for 2000 units, the total cost comes out to be 2,50,000. It is here. Then for 3000 units, 3,25,000. It will be here. Then for 4000 units, it is 4 lakh. So, this line goes like this. So, this is your total cost line. Now, we have the income line, and if the income is shown for 100 units, 1000 units, it is 1 lakh. For 2000 units, it is 2 lakh. For 3000 units, if it is 3 lakhs, and for 4000 units, it is 4 lakhs. So, basically this line will move from here through this point, and this line is known as the income line. So, what we see is the total cost at this point is equal to the income produced. Once we move to this side, you get the profit, and if you are in this side, you are in the loss. So, this is how you can draw these costs against the number of units produced. Now, let us see, we have to find the graph for cost and income per unit against output units. So, we have to find the graph for this. Now, in that, output units will be 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000 and 6000. Now, in this side we will have cost or income per unit of the item. Now, in that we can have 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. So, what we see is the income per unit, that is rupees 100. So, income per unit line will be this. Now, what we can do is we can have the variable cost here. Now, in this case let us find something about the total cost. Now, total cost line for 1000 outputs per unit output. So, we have to get the value of total cost for 1000 units. For 1000 units the total cost will be 1 lakh plus 75 multiplied by 1000, that is 1,75,000. So, 1,75,000 and for 1000 units it is, so that will be 175. So, it will go somewhere here. Now, for 2000 units, for 2000 units the total cost is 2,50,000. So, for unit output 2,50,000 divided by 2000, that is 125. So, it will be here. Then for 3000 units it is 3,25,000. So, for every unit it will be 108.3. So, it will be here close to this. Now, for 4000 units it is 100. So, 4000 unit it will reach at this point. For 5000 units 475,000. So, if we divide it, it is coming less than 100. So, it is 95. For 6000 units it is close to 90. So, it goes like this, and then it is going downwards. As we move in this direction it will go like that. For 0 units the fixed cost is 1 lakh. So, anyway total cost is 1 lakh, but it will be approaching towards infinity. So, that is why this line will come from infinity and then it will go like this. Like this. So, basically this is the average cost line. Now, if we look at the fixed cost per unit line, so fixed cost is 1 lakh. So, for 1000 units it will be 100, but certainly it will be 0, for 0 items it will be towards infinity. For 2000 units it will be 50. For 3000 units it will be 33.33. For 4000 units it will be close to 24. Then for 5000 units it is close to 20. Certainly it will go on decreasing as we move. So, it will reach towards the infinity, and this line in the x direction will move like this, and it will reach towards 0 as we go on increasing the number of units per number of units. So, what we see is you have this as fixed cost per unit line. Then this line is average cost per unit line. So, what we see is this is the average cost and this is the fixed cost per unit. It means in between the difference is nothing but the variable cost per unit line. So, if you see that at any point, if this is the fixed cost per unit line, fixed cost per unit, and this is the, since this is the value of average cost, so in between this amount can be taken as variable cost per unit. So, that is how we see that how, so this is the amount of fixed quantity, and this fixed cost, as you see, as you go on increasing the number of units, the fixed cost is per unit is decreasing, variable cost is remaining constant, and the average also cost, you see that as you go on increasing the production, the average cost is decreasing per unit. So, that is how we can see that such problems can be solved. You can also see where you can locate the break even quantity, there is no profit or no loss at that point, and so. Now, let us discuss about the next question. The next question is regarding the economic order quantity. So, in that basically it is given that the annual demand of a certain item is 2 lakh, holding cost is rupees 8 per unit per year, and the item cost is rupees 40 per unit. For purchase cost, purchase order, every purchase order is costing rupees 400. What will be the economic order quantity? So, for this we will have the formula and we have to place the values of the given quantities and we can have the economic order quantity. So, it is given as D as annual demand, it is given as 20,000, Then you have holding cost is per unit per year, that is rupees 8 per unit per year. Many a times this holding cost may be given as in terms of percentage of the average inventory cost, or sometimes maybe the percentage of the unit cost of the item. So, you may not have the direct values, but you may have to calculate it once it is expressed in terms of percentage of certain values. So, here it is given directly as rupees 8 per unit per year. Then item cost CI, it is given as rupees 40 per unit, and the purchase order cost, that is CP, it is given as rupees 400 per purchase order. So, such problems as we have discussed, we can have the expression for the total cost, and we have got anyway the expression for economic order quantity. So, economic order quantity, as we know, it is under root 2 Cp into D upon Ch. So, we have to put this in the formula. We can have 2 times 400 multiplied by demand, that is 20,000, divided by Ch, that is 8. So, it will be 50. So, this will be equal to 1414 units. This is the economic order quantity, the quantity which when ordered once, basically it will lead to minimum total cost. So, corresponding to this, if we have to find the total cost, we know that for total cost the expression is Ci times D plus cost of holding times Q by 2. So, this is your Q plus cost of purchasing per purchase order times D by Q. Now, we have to calculate this value Ci times D. So, 40 times 20,000 plus Ch times Q by 2, Ch is 8 and Q by 2 is 707 plus Cp, Cp is 400 times D by Q, and D is 20,000 and Q is 1414 units. Now, we have to find its sum. It will be 800,000 plus 5656 plus 800,000 divided by 1414, that is 5657.7, that is 5658. So, 5658 plus 5656 plus 8 0 0 0 0 0 equal to 8 1 1 3 1 4. So, this is basically the total cost, which is the minimum total cost corresponding to this economic order quantity units. Thank you.